standing here. Cheryl Lippert, tell us about, we have a project happening.
We have a project happening. It's the biggest renovation this church has ever had.
In the history of Faith Vieira Lutheran Church. Wow, okay.
In the here and now and in the history, yes. We are about to embark upon a renovation of the sanctuary in the narthex of Faith Vieira Lutheran Church. And when we do, we have focused on both the replacement of and the redesign of the chancel area.
Is that what this is?
And that's what that is. Yeah, please do.
Sure.
Please do. When we take a look at what we are doing right now, we have 2 ramps where we are walking up and taking communion at the rail on the 2nd level of the chancel. When we revise this, the 2nd level of the chancel will be a step off of the area. Well, now we'll have the pulpit, the lectern, and the altar all on one large platform with the communion rail in the front. So there will no longer be any ramps to walk up to. All our walking will be up to the ramp and will be in the front. So
and we can fit more people.
We will fit more people, exactly.
Question for you in real time, because I wanted to ask you about this. Does this have to be this far back? Could it be further down?
It could be further down.
Because I feel like I would be far away from people here. Okay. I would prefer to be, but I don't want to encumber the thing. I mean, my thing is like I'd be willing to be back here, but I would prefer to be closer rather than far away.
We can try that. I think that will be the same distances to what we have now, and I don't know whether or not that will infringe upon the space. I don't want to have to slither through here. Correct. That's not the word I want. Slither. Slide. Shimmy, whatever the word is. Okay. So, but the main point is, the communion rail will be on the floor. That's going to be a blessing for everybody for 2 reasons. You don't have as far to go. Correct. And we can fit more people. Correct. Absolutely. Absolutely. So, and then the altar is going to be pulled out, so it would be what's called a freestanding altar. Correct. So I'll be able, or other pastors, face people when we're consecrating the elements. Exactly. Exactly. Okay, so it looks like also, as I'm doing a comparison A to B, one of these things is not like the other, a few. Yes, exactly. What's going on over here? What's going on over here is, as we know now, this is the speaker area that is projecting the sound for our organ, and right now the monitors are somewhat tilted toward the center. We've heard many people talk about how there's an opportunity to make a bigger screen. So we're going to flatten the wall along this crease where the 2 walls now meet. We're going to flatten that out, as you can see in this picture, and install a larger monitor on both sides. So it will be easier for everyone in the sanctuary to be able to see the screens and read what's going on during the services. Someone asked me just the other day, is this going to be at exactly the same height as it is now? It will be very similar to the height that it is now, because we were not planning to disturb the speakers. Okay, good to know. So that answers that. But either way, it's going to be bigger. Yes, and absolutely. At a more favorable angle, probably. Exactly. We're looking at a 70 to 75 inch monitor screen to put up there instead. Good. So that's on here, but we have other specific things. We have others, yes. Here. This thing, now you're not in the frame. No, here, just change places with me here. Here we go. Okay, so tell us about this board here. Okay, this board. Is this the mood board or something? Was that what it's called? I don't know. Exactly. Is that something with advertising? It's just whatever. Yeah. I wanted to give you all a feel for what we were going to look like in terms of the feel and the colors that we've chosen for the church. Let's start with the tile. This tile will be on many surfaces, certainly in the narthex. We're using a heavily textured tile, the same color as this, so that there will be less slick. It's not going to be slick. It will not be slick. That was one of the questions. It will not be slick. None of it will be slick. It will be textured to be dealing with the weather when we have rainstorms to be dealing with as well. When we enter the sanctuary, we will have tile going down the aisles, and the main aisle will have a what we're calling a matte finish, so there'll be very, very little glisten to it. And then on the main aisle, down either side of the aisle, will be a tile that has just a little bit of a polished look to it. It sounds like you've spent some time thinking about and researching this. I have done, yes I have, absolutely. It's my passion, I love it. So that will lead us directly to the chancel, and the chancel will all be tiled as well. It won't be tiled in the shiny. The shiny is going to be used on the facing of all of the steps.
So kind of accent for the shiny stuff?
Exactly,
okay.
Exactly. Using the shiny to accent. The pews will be in this color stain. They will be pews that are very similar to what we have today, other than the fact that the sides will go all the way down to the floor. And those pews sides will be running along where the tile is running. Underneath all of the pews will be this navy blue carpet. And the navy blue, I was inspired for that based upon looking at our windows. And we've had red in here for so long that it was time to think about something different. So we're going for a navy blue underneath all of the pews for the purpose of bringing some color, bringing some softness, and trying to deal with the aspect of the sound and how it will be reverberating through the church.
Well, in talking with Elaine Gregory earlier about that, and she said she was looking forward to it because it makes it a more lively space acoustically by having some more harder surfaces.
Correct, exactly, absolutely. So what else? Oh, we're painting. We're going to paint, and right now everything has been painted a white, and we will be taking the narthex in the sanctuary into a lighter beige color, the likes of which all the walls will be colored to that beige, and then when we go into the chancel, it's a little bit lighter. So it will it'll be an interesting look. I think it'll soften the feel for the church, and it'll make it a little bit more of a homey feel, if you will.
Is this going to be high gloss, eggshell, satin, or flat?
I don't have an answer to that. It's probably eggshell.
Okay. Well, that would be my preference, really.
Okay,
I don't want to, because completely flat, the high gloss, but just a little bit.
Just a little bit will be fine.
Okay, good. I mean, not that it mattered what my opinion was, but
but it does.
Once you were talking about, what about this? These are chancel chairs.
Those
is this where I would sit if I sat down?
Yeah, that's where you could sit. Your chair will be, there'll be two of them. They're both in a blue, navy blue leather, and they will be up near the pulpit and the lectern.
Okay.
Last but not least is the cushions on the pews. We will have cushions on the seats, and the fabric here is really, again, my inspiration was the windows. I wanted something that looked like the windows, and by golly, we've got a fabric with blues, reds, yellows. I'm hoping it's going to be as beautiful as I think it will be. This fabric will be repeated on the kneeling for the communion rail, and I think that's it in a nutshell.
There's something I think you've left out. So we have new windows, as I understand it.
We do.
And so these are then the permanent wall hangings here? These, these are like an accordion sort of thing?
Mm-hmm. No. Great question. We actually are waiting to replace 3 more panes of the windows. It's been a very interesting experience. Apparently when you have the dual paned windows, if the 2 panes of glass touch each other, they create a multicolored kiss, as they call it in the industry. And unfortunately, 3 of our windows were kissing each other. So we have to replace 3 of the panes of windows. And of the 3 that have come in, 1 is now kissing. And so therefore we're waiting for it to straighten itself out before we have all 3 replaced. And when we do, we're putting in plantation shutters that will be the same color as the walls of the sanctuary. And they will be the large 3 to 5 inch vanes of plantation shutters where we can control the sun. And
we will control the sun itself.
We will control the sun itself and the moon if we have a choice. But no, it will be a very soft look and I hope a beautiful look for the congregation to enjoy.
Good. Well, here in the narthex then, the tile will be out here.
Yes, well, tile will be out here, and in the case of inclement weather, we will bring rubber mats out to take care of the rain that comes into the front doors. But in the meantime, we are also going to look at weather stripping so that we no longer see between the doors and hopefully stop some of the water intrusion that happens during heavy downpours. Nursery. We are going to update that nursery as well. We've got new shades coming in for the windows, and we'll be painting that as well. And ere we forget, the bathrooms are also going to be updated, so the tile that we're utilizing in the narthex will transition into the bathrooms. We will put all new comfort height toilets will be installed, new countertops as well, and new fixtures. So it will be like a new church when we get back in here sometime this summer.
Well, it's that's exciting to see some of this come together. It's been a while. It looks like a fun project as we learn more about one another in this entire process. Oh, one other thing.
Yeah.
So one of the things that's come up, and I think is part of this, is for people who have hearing aids and are used to assistive listening devices, part of this also is figuring out which technology or technologies that may be part of this as well.
Well,
right?
Exactly, because right now we have what is called a hearing loop system, which is buried underneath the carpeting of the sanctuary, and it literally, like a snake, no pun intended, loops through the church and creates a wired environment where those with assisted hearing devices are able to connect into and hear an amplified sound. We are also investigating, thanks to Randy Throne and Bill Evans, the opportunity to use a web-based program that
I think it's Wi-Fi.
It is Wi-Fi. Excuse me, you're absolutely right. It's a Wi-Fi based program as opposed to the wiring under the pews. But we will certainly still have a hearing assist mechanism in place in the church when we're done.
Which is important because the scriptures say faith comes by hearing, and we want people to be able to hear.
Exactly.
So when, in terms of the timeline for this, then we're anticipating these renovations are going to be starting just after Easter.
Just after.
So we're going to be moving over to Building E. Do you have an entire decorating scheme for over there? No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, you are funny. You are very
So we're going to be moving over to Building E, and then we're anticipating, I think we're being conservative on this, that it's going to be 3 months?
3 months. Yeah. 3 months easily. I'm optimistic we can keep it within that time frame.
Good. Well, that's exciting, and thanks for, I mean, although I'm relatively new, thanks for your service and bringing us up to speed.
Thank you. My pleasure.
On this inaugural video announcement update.
All pleasure is all mine.
Okay.
Thank you.
Good. Well, thank you. We'll see you. We've never ended one of these videos.
No, how do we end it?
See you at church. Come to church. Check it out.
Exactly.